Remember that time when we started the Deadpool Corps with the Prelude? You had a really hot Wanda Wilson. You had a little kid named Tito. You had a dog named Wilson. But we're gonna call him Dogpool because it's less confusing. And you also had a zombie Deadpool head floating around. This was the greatest superhero team ever invented. And they've now been sent off on a crazy and wild adventure. Let's begin that story. In our last video, Wade Wilson traveled through the multiverse to put together the ragtag team known as the Deadpool Corps. After proving themselves in the trials, the Corps was selected with the task of protecting and saving the multiverse. Now armed with their swords and spacecraft, it is time for everyone to suit up and get ready to leave for their very first mission. Now with the Corps already proving their worth, the Contemplator gathers everyone to explain what their mission will be and how they will save the fate of all reality. Wade asks if they're going to be fighting the Beyonder, because if it's the Beyonder, that's super lame. The Contemplator tells him no, it's not the Beyonder, and before he asks any more questions, just let him show him what kind of a journey they're going to be undertaking. Off in the heart of the cosmos, a negative energy is gathering as a result of the Big Bang. Its power is beyond that of the power primordial, and even bigger than the power cosmic. Over the eons, this energy has become sentient, and soon it will begin to hunger. Just like Galactus devours the worlds, this consciousness devours the very essence of the mind itself, causing thousands of planets to be mixed into a big steaming mind soup just to feed this evil. Wade and the others begin to board their ship saying, yeah, travel across space, confront the cloudy bad thing, send a postcard, we got it. As the ship takes off, the two elders watch, and one mentions that though he is honor-bound to let them be their champions, he can't help but feel slightly that the Contemplator didn't consult with the other elders. The other, Trico, says, well, he himself isn't honor-bound. He would like to put these so-called champions to the test himself. Back aboard the spacecraft, Tito says that he's not sure why they're being sent to deal with this thing. The elders do have those Superfly Big Bang powers. Wade tells him that it's because the enemy can detect the power primordial immediately, so they can't get near the thing. Wanda then says, how about they call that evil thing Frank? She once knew a guy named Frank who sucked the air out of the room, much like eating consciousness. Deadpool tells everyone to shut up. We're picking up something on the scanner, and they are so gonna love my haircut. Outside of the ship, Trico shouts to them that he is Trico Slatterus, the champion. Face him and prove yourselves. Wade opens up the channel and shouts back that this is Deadpool of the SS, ship to be named later, and I will accept your request. Let's just go on over to that uninhabited planet over there. As Trico heads down, Wade and the others land, and as the ship's hatch opens up, Wade shouts to Tito to get to it. Trico says, good, we will meet in the battle. I've been roaming the universe seeking battle and glory, and your defeat will be, hey, wait! Tito runs past Trico, and while Wade pulls down his pants to moon Trico, Wade shouts, look over here at this distraction! While Trico looks away, Tito hops on Trico's space cycle and says, I'm gonna take this for a spin! And then suddenly the hatch of the Corps ship slams shut. As Trico watches everyone leave, he then waits as the sun passes, and he realizes they're not coming back. Time goes by, and while Trico sits there muttering to himself, the Elder Gardener appears, saying that it seems that he was bested by the mortals. Trico shouts that he was not bested, he was tricked by a juvenile. He will bring destruction to the Deadpool Corps with his own hand. That is, if he could get a lift off the planet. Off on another planet, Wade and the others stop by to refuel, and Wade decides to take some of his crew members into the town to try out some of the alien beer. As the three go into town, a group of aliens stops them, telling them that they might want to hand over all of their money and that female friend. They'll bring the girl back in a few hours, though. Wade says, so guns or swords? And Wanda slices through one of the aliens, telling him that she's gonna take a wild guess. After cutting and stabbing all the aliens, Wanda asks, so how about that beer? And Wade says, fine, I'm buying. A short while later, and a few drinks in, Wade sits at a bar telling some aliens a story of how he totally whipped the Beyonder's ass in Jenga. And then as he finishes his story, he feels a tap on his shoulder, and that's when Trico punches him through the wall, asking him if he remembers that they agreed on a fight. Wanda grabs her guns and begins firing, and after realizing the bullets aren't doing anything, she too is thrown into the wall. Wade gets up and tells Wanda to go ahead and get back to the ship and get everyone out of here. And then Wade turns back to Trico, telling him, I really don't appreciate some dork butting into my action. I was in the middle of scamming some hot alien tail, and now I'm gonna kick your ass. And before the fight begins, Wade looks at the gardener and asks, who are you? And the gardener shouts that he is the great, the mighty, the gardener, and his powers are, hey! Wade and Dogpool begin rolling on the ground laughing, and Wade then says that he thought it was gonna be something cool, like Destructor or Annihilator. But what are you gonna do? Throw mulch at me? As the gardener gets ready to attack, Trico stops him, telling him that it's the champion who will take the first hit. Wade stops them both, going, whoa, 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 whoa. You might not realize it, but you are messing with the wrath of the Deadpool Corps. Go kill, Wilson! Dogpool leaps in, biting Trico in the face, and while Dogpool chews on his skin, Trico says, this must be a dream, right? Wade then says, okay. How about we skip the fisticuffs and move on to the other options? Options like our names going down in the history books. Wade grabs Trico, telling him, you're a hero, right? Well, our job is to help the universe. Just imagine, you're a picture on kids' lunchboxes. People giving you praise and glory. And the gardener tells him, you can't seriously be listening to him. And Trico says, who are we not to aid them? Wade asks, aid us? No. The Deadpool Corps will be aiding you, since you're the hero and all. 10 minutes later, Wanda and Tito bust into the bar to see everyone passed out. Wanda shouts, what the hell? I was gone for only a few minutes, though I'm sort of impressed by how much has happened. But what the hell? Wade says that he knew that she would be back quickly to rescue him, so he had to kick the celebration into overdrive. And as to what they were celebrating, well, it's their newest addition to their fabulous team, of course. Later aboard the newly named B. Arthur, Wade would like to welcome the almighty champion pool. Tito and the gardener stare for a moment, and then they burst out laughing. Trico says that he happens to think that he looks rather dashing. It's an appropriate look if he's going to be leading this team. Headpool says, okay, what the hell is going on? And Trico shouts, good news, I've agreed to lead you all to victory, and there is no need to thank me. Your look of stunned gratitude is the appreciation that I desire. As Gardner disappears, Tito asks Trico, so let me get this straight. You have the power primordial, and Trico tells him yes, and then Tito then asks, but you can't teleport. And Trico says, well, not all of our powers manifest in the same way, just shut up! 12 hours later, Wade and Trico sit waiting to reach their destination, and Trico says that this is taking longer than he thought. Wade tells him, well, the galaxy is pretty big, and it's not like we can't just teleport there or anything, right? But before Wade can go on making fun of Trico, Wanda runs in telling them that they got something on the scanner. As everyone gets into the cockpit, Tito says they're being hailed by a strange alien ship, and now they're being challenged. Trico shouts, as our champion, I will handle this. Give me the coordinates of this showdown. He then hops onto a space cycle and he rides down to the planet and he calls out the aliens to come and face him. But no one shows up. After a few moments of no one coming, Trico gets back on his bike and he sees that his tank is empty. He screams, this cannot be happening again! I will kill the little one first! Back on the ship, Wade tells everyone that now that their lives are 100% elder-free, he's gonna take a much-deserved nap. Later, monkeys! A short while later, after Wade leaves, Headpool says, we got something on the scanner. And then a transmission comes in telling them that they are the Wootives of awareness, surrender or face destruction. Wanda tells Tito to choose his words in response carefully. And Tito responds, by blowing up the ship. Headpool says, okay, that was cool, but they got like, one, no, two, no, wait, more like, uh-oh. And then suddenly, the B. Arthur is surrounded by warships. Meanwhile, in Wade's cabin, he's dreaming about himself being king. But there's a slight nagging in the back of his mind, like he forgot something. He then jumps out of bed and shouts, that's right! I left my dog on the first planet. As Wade runs into the cockpit to tell everyone, he looks around and sees all of the ships and says, well, crap, we're gonna die. Soon the giant pyramid starts bringing the B. Arthur to them in a tractor beam. The Corps gears up and they get ready to kill everyone, except no one's there. Wanda asks if anyone else smells gas, and Tito says, that totally wasn't me! And Wanda tells him that that was gross. As the Corps passes out, the aliens who brought them on board begin to surround them. And Headpool says, it's so nice being dead. Fumes don't bother me. After being taken away to their cells, the aliens tell everyone, all at once, that they are the Votives of awareness. They all speak in one voice, so answer them as to why they have come to their sector. Wade's mind says play it cool. Tell them something that won't cause alarm. And so his actual verbalized response is, I've come to destroy the awareness. The commanding alien tells him that that is utterly futile. They have been brought before the awareness and they will be absorbed. Conversation ends. Wanda then asks, did he really just tell them that he was here to destroy their boss? And Wade says, hey, they're now gonna take us to the awareness. Half our job has already been done for us. And you're welcome. Meanwhile, Dogpool hitchhiked to get back to the others, and a space plumber offers to give him a lift. The space plumber says that it's funny, he was looking to give a ride to someone who looks just like him. And as Wilson sits down, he sits next to Trico, and Trico says crap. Back at the awareness ship, the commanding alien comes back alone and tells Wade that they must talk. All is not as it seems. He goes on saying that the awareness has absorbed the minds of millions of worlds, and now all of them are in a lockstep of thought and action. However, as their leader, he's allowed time to have an independent thought and occasion, so together they may have a chance of defeating him. After leaving, the commanding alien goes back to greet the plumber, who with him is Dogpool and Trico, and they're all trying to fix the toilets. Now, after giving them directions, the other aliens tell the commander they detected a digression in his behavior, and for that he is a traitor and must die. As Dogpool and Trico run ahead of the plumber, Trico tells Dogpool that he would have killed him on sight, but he will focus all of his anger on Deadpool first. As the two continue running, Headpool says, "I couldn't help but notice you guys sneaking on. If you're heading to save someone, you're going the wrong way." Trico shouts that he is not here to rescue anyone! He and he alone will stop this threat. And Headpool says, "Oh, is that right? And how exactly?" Trico comes up with a plan, and after stuttering for a few moments, Headpool tells him, "That's what I thought. Now huddle up, because Daddy's got a plan." Back in the holding cells, Wanda and Wade pick up Tito, telling him, "This'll work. We're gonna get you through that force field, and then you can recover with your healing factor, and then you can unlock the door from the outside." Tito says that he would like to talk about this, and then the both of them throw him into the force field, which he bounces off of and tells them that they both really suck. The new commanding alien then appears before the group, telling them to never fear, they will be out of their cells soon enough. However, because the awareness is indicating that they are a much larger threat than they seem, they will not be absorbing them, but rather they will be thrown into a nearby star to forever regenerate. But while that happens, Dogpool remembers Headpool's plan. Him and Trico will navigate through while Headpool frees the others. As Dogpool gets close to the guards for the cell, he jumps up biting into one of their necks, and after killing those two guards, more flood in, Dogpool gets to work attacking. Back in the cell, while Wanda and Wade thumb wrestle to pass the time, Tito sees Dogpool dragging himself in and he shouts, "Holy cats, it's a dog!" Dogpool crawls over to the lock and opens up the cell. And Wanda says, "Look, they've conveniently left our weapons right here for us." Once everyone is suited back up, the four head back out and they begin to slaughter all of the aliens. Back with Headpool and Trico, Headpool says, "Now that we've got the self-destruct set, it's time for us to get out of here." As more guards show up, Trico says that he'll stay behind to stop the Cretans. "Just go." Headpool tells him, "Just so you know, if you stay, it will explode with you in it. And I guess so long, champ. It's been fun." Back over at the B. Arthur, everyone starts to board the ship. The commanding alien tells Wade that with all of this violence, the awareness will not be absorbing him. Wade holds out his gun, telling him, "Yeah, that's why I got this gig." Conversation ends. Blam. As the B. Arthur jets away from the pyramid ship, everyone watches the ship explode, and Wade tells everyone, "All right, now that we got that out of the way, it's time to make the awareness aware of what he's got himself into." And there you have it, the first half of Volume 1 of Deadpool Corps. Now, if you missed my little thing at the end of the Flash video last week, we're going to rotate the Flash Jeff Johns run with the Deadpool Corps videos. That means that next week you're going to get another Flash video, and then we'll come back with more Deadpool Corps after that. So if you want to not miss any single one of them, then click the link down below to subscribe to the channel. Click right here for the Deadpool Corps playlist, and you can also click right here for something recommended by YouTube. Thank you, and you have a wonderful and amazing evening. Paul.